This video is dedicated to Brandon Glazebrook. Brandon, thank you. Tuvasa the Sunlit versus Sisay Weatherlight Captain. Access to Enlightened Tutor in for an Enchantress. We've already got one in hand, I think. We're okay to keep that one. I wonder if it's worth going for ramp with the Enlightened Tutor instead. We're on the draw at least, so we can see how fast a start Sisay gets off to. No Soul Ring or anything like that, so I think we're okay to go in for an Enchantress with the Enlightened Tutor. Okay, I thought it was suspicious that there was no fast mana in a 1v1 Sisay deck. Going in for the Chrome Mox now. So I think it might actually benefit us if we go for the Enlightened Tutor into an Enchantress. They might not appreciate the fact that we've got some removal in hand, and they might concentrate their efforts on the Enchantress. So let's go for that anyway. Or do we just want to go for the removal now and concentrate on getting down the Enchantress we've got in hand? I'm just wondering about that here. Yeah, we could go for... not Rest in Peace, where is it? Journey to Nowhere. Let's go Journey to Nowhere instead. And then we'll hope that our opponent doesn't have the additional mana to get their commander back out. They may well put the commander under the Journey to Nowhere here if they've got removal for it. They put Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh underneath their Mox, by the way, so I wonder if this is Super Friends. And their Sisay did go back to the command zone, bringing in a tap land and then going for Rada, heir to Keld. So that will help them get their commander out next turn if they don't have a land to make. We get ourselves a Reflecting Pool, so let's get some green in order to help ourselves along for the Reflecting Pool. Now, do we allow our opponent to get the double red off with this? Yeah, let's just go Propaganda to make it more difficult for them. They don't end up with any additional mana that way. They've got to put 2 into attack and they gain 2 from Rada, so all they're really doing is giving us some damage that we wouldn't ordinarily receive in that situation. We do really need to get this Enchanter down at some point. They did make the land, so their commander can come down, and they just go straight in for their commander, so no attacks for us. They've still got, not red, they've still got green on this if they want to tap it. I still don't think we've got chance to go in for the Satyr Enchanter, to be honest. We can go Fertile Ground onto this, and that is additional mana, isn't it? Yeah. Additional 1 mana of any colour, so we can still go Prison Term onto Sisay. I think I'd rather hold on to the Fertile Ground because we won't have an enchantment in hand for the Satyr. I'm just really worried about what Captain Sisay will be able to get down if we allow her to stay in play. So we'll switch off her ability. Swinging in at us with Rada, they have to pay 2. Nope, deciding against that, forgetting about the Propaganda. Alright, now we're getting into some ramp. Let's just try the Satyr Enchanter. We're missing lands. But if we can go for that, and then the Utopia Sprawl can go onto the island, and that will draw us a card. We might be able to make a land this turn. Oh, it has to go on a forest, that one, so we'll risk it going on there. And get into Aura of Silence, which might be good against them. I'm not really sure what their deck's wanting to do at the moment, to be honest. That can tap for another green. This time choosing to attack into us and pay the tax on that. So I think we've successfully slowed them down. They've only got 2 cards in hand. They didn't really do anything last turn. Okay, Oblivion Ring is a means of getting rid of their Sisay again. If they're pouring all their mana into getting Sisay into play, then they're not pouring mana into the ability, so I think we're doing alright here. Let's go Fertile Ground onto the island, into another land eventually, that's good. And maybe it's time for Tuvasa at this point. So we'll get down the Tuvasa, and I'm going to hold up Eladamri's Call, and we'll go in for another Enchantress. This is what we want to do in the early game, is control the board as best we can. and drag out the game long enough to get lots and lots of enchantments going and get one of our win conditions off. Just need to hope there's no removal for that prison term. Kiora Behemoth Beckoner comes down now, untapping a permanent and big creatures it cares about. Haven't seen any of those yet. I dare say the aim is to cheat those out with the commander. One card left in hand now, doesn't seem as though they have anything to do. Using the Crossing Verge there to get themselves into a couple of the Tricycle lands, which is really good value in my estimation. So Crossing Verge definitely something worth considering now. It's not typically something that I run myself, but if it can get 2 Tricycle lands like that, then yeah, that's definitely worth a consideration in 5-colour decks. I'll just get down a Plains here and we can go for the Aladamri's Call. And I think we'll go for the Eidolon of Blossoms, I think it's called. The 5 mana or 4 mana Enchantress. Yeah, Eidolon of Blossoms, because it triggers on itself. And it will trigger Tuvasa and the Satyr as well. We get into another land. So let's play that, draw some cards and see what we want to do with our turn. Draw into the Argothian Enchantress as well. Maybe it's time to start holding on to some of these now that we've got 3 in play. I think that's enough. Glacial Fortress is good. This is creature and enchantment spells you control, can't be countered. They are holding up blue mana. So let's see if we can encourage our opponent to counter this. Alright, a Mystical Tutor as well. I think that is our turn then. We'll keep up the Mystical Tutor. Rest in peace. I'm not sure how relevant it's going to be. We'll just get down this tap land. And then swing in with the Tuvasa. They decide to take 8 points of commander damage. So that might be our means of victory this game, is maybe getting in a Thassa and making her unblockable and getting commander damage off. Well, they're not missing lands, I'll give them that. And a 3 visits as well, so yeah, that's the problem with 5-colour decks. You've really got to concentrate on giving deck slots to getting your mana going. But you can be unlucky or not get the balance right and just end up drawing into all your ramp and colour fixing. But if they get into a big creature, they'll draw off of Kiora, so we'll see what happens. Let's go in for the Tutor. Grab ourselves a Dig Through Time just to get some more card draw on the go if we want to. Play Glacial Fortress. And then let's see if we can go Dig Through Time for only 2 mana. I think we just about can. Looking at the top 7 cards, and we can take 2 of them. Estrid's Invocation is excellent. Song of the Dryads I will take as well, just in case they get rid of that prison term. Let's just play the Aura of Silence to try and give our opponent a harder time. Gives them even less mana to play around with. We'll get down that Ghostly Prison as well. Sun Titan I like getting into, just in case there's an austere command. We can start dragging out some of our things from the bin. Get down this Ghostly Prison. And we get into another Enchantress, so we've got a couple in hand. Even if our opponent does wipe the board, I'm feeling pretty good at this point. Especially with Replenish in hand, so this is going exactly how we want it to go. Swing in like that. And like that. And we'll take them down to 18 commander damage if they don't block with Rada. Again, deciding not to block, so they're trying their luck here. I think we're okay to get rid of Rest in Peace. And we'll just try our luck getting rid of the land. Our opponent top decks a land. They just played the island, so yeah, pretty unlucky for them. I've had a few games like that myself in the more recent recording sessions. Just ripping lands and ramp off the top. Obviously I don't know my opponent's deck and how efficient it usually is. Normally that would have been okay for them had it not have been for the prison term. If they'd actually been able to activate their commander, then this would have been a completely different game, but having their commander switched off was just the end of them here. They could have managed another turn. For all they know, they could have managed another turn, because they could have blocked our commander with Rada, but we had removal for it with Oblivion Ring, so we were winning next turn. And the cards on top were Green Sun Zenith. There's Thassa. I dare say we could have drawn into Thassa and made our commander unblockable. So you see how the deck wants to run here. We want to get out lots of enchantments to control the board and get rid of our opponent's creatures and remove their planeswalkers and all that type of stuff and just pretty much grind them to a halt. I think we dealt with quite a few of our opponent's things there. So holding off on the Satyr Enchanter was actually the right way to go there, I think. That could have gone either way, but I think it was the right thing to do in this case. Anyway, hopefully you all enjoyed this return to Tuvasa in 1v1. Leave it a thumbs up and subscribe if you did. I do pay attention to those things, so if you don't leave it as many likes and the views aren't as good, then I won't be revisiting this commander. It's as simple as that. So be sure to support me on that front if you want to see more from her. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.